serait bien crack. Ouais, c'est le jeu. Alors c'est parti pour Lotus Challenge 2003.
It's a trip. It's got a funky beat.
everybody. How are you doing today? Rebecca here. Hi. There she is. Hi. Hello. How are you doing today? Okay. So today I have a couple things that have been on my mind. Things about my content, things about everything. Just everything. Just everything. About how I've been feeling the past, we're approaching almost, now that we're in June. We're in June. You guys know what that means? Means I've been streaming for 4 years. Okay? And it's not that I've been streaming for 4 years that's the meaningful part. It's the fact of like how far I've come as a person in those 4 years. And I do think that like it's really important that when you get into something like streaming, or when you get into anything, like not streaming particularly, but anything that could be potentially like a part of the streaming medium, basically show business in general, entertainment in general, performance in general. I love artistry and I love performance art most of all, because I think performance art is the most alive. Not to say that other forms of art aren't, but to say that like it is, I feel like it's the most social and therefore it's the most important to me, because for me, I'm a very social person. And so like, unfortunately I'm very isolated due to autistic issues. I really have to approach social situations very carefully. For example, I know it might seem really ridiculous, but even joining a new Discord is a big deal, especially if it's another content creator. Like I joined a couple of the Discords from, from people who were in OTK Elevated. For example, I joined Mayor Wirtz and I joined Miss Skillshots and Snayrat. I've talked to all three of them. Snayrat potentially might want to do a collab. So that would be pretty cool. It would definitely be great to collab with all the people who participated in OTK Elevated. I applied. I couldn't have even imagined if I had been a part of that. Like, that would have been impossible this past month. I literally am like at the, I'm at the, like, I'm still, like, I'm in the long-term recovery stage of, like, just kind of letting things just settle in and, getting used to, like, tissue, the feelings starting to come back in all the bone tissue and stuff up here. But, like, for the most part, I'm out of the woods. But at the same time, like, doing something like what all those contestants did over the past month, I couldn't even imagine. I was having some personal life problems. That's why, I haven't been online much this past month or two. Since my surgery, I haven't been online too much. Like, you may have seen me go online a few times to play some Final Fantasy. Honestly, I kind of want to keep that game for offline. Keep it for off stream, because it's just, it's a very personal game to me. And I don't think I don't know. Sometimes I do like just kind of chilling with you guys, just playing some Final Fantasy 11, but for the most part, I feel like most of the reason why I play that game is to get away from that. But at the same time, if it's like a casual no cam stream and I'm not even really talking into the mic at all, that's a little different. But even then, like, just the thought that knowing that the stream is live, like, puts you in a different mindset. I don't know, like, honestly, like, watching, there's a bunch of mixed feelings going into, like, watching through OTK Elevated, like, this past month. Like, I didn't watch it live, I watched it through all the VODs. So I didn't get to vote. I also would have felt weird voting. I feel like everyone should have won, but I feel like they did. And it's like it's not like they're enemies. Like they're all content creators, and now they have a lifelong connection. Like knowing that they shared this unique thing that happened called OTK Elevated. It's like, imagine like going from just being a person like me and then like participating in an event and somehow making it to the final and going to Vegas. And then like just going on stage, and I'm pretty natural on stage. It is like you'll never get rid of that butterfly feeling. So basically you just have to lean into it. Just kind of, you only feel this once. Every performance only happens once. So every time that you go on stage, you start to feel that butterfly feeling. Embrace it, because you're never going to feel that again. So like you go up and you do your performance, and it is what it is. It's going to be received however it's received. You're going to do however you do. Whatever you do, it's the perfect thing that you could have done, because the worst thing you could have done is to just completely like I don't even know, like ruin the show somehow. But like, if you just do a subpar performance some nights, I don't know. That's just how it is. Just like with my stream, like even though I don't really consider this like at this stage of where I am on my social media career, I don't really particularly see this as a performance. However, I do see streaming as a performance in the sense that I'm going online for a reason. I'm not just going online just to go online. Because if it was, otherwise I would just stay offline. I would just be like, okay, it's just another day. I'm just thinking my thoughts. I'm just cooking stuff. But when you go online, it's like, okay, now that you've cooked, you got to present it. And I think the presenting part has been difficult for me, because I can cook really well, but if you cook really well, but then you can't put it on the plate correctly, it doesn't matter how well you cooked it, because people are going to judge it on the presentation as well. But I don't know. I think I'm getting there. Honestly, see, here's the big thought. Here's the thing that's really on, that made me want to go live today. And there's been some thoughts. I've had this thought for a while. Obviously, I don't think it's unique to trans people, but I guess this is the place to start. Is the fact that I have to start talking about this by mentioning the fact that I am a trans person. Like, why is it that I feel the need to do that? Like why is it, why do I feel like why is it that we live in a world where I have to somehow justify to people like how I am me? Like when I think about what transitioning means to me, like a lot of it is appearance. And honestly, let's just get this out of the way. Being trans is not my only personality trait. Okay? I need to accept that. Because that's my biggest fear. As a content creator especially. I don't want to just be known as the trans content creator. Obviously, I always will be because I am trans. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, I want there to be more to me about what content I create. Like, even this content that might be in a YouTube video, even this content is literally about the thing that I'm trying to... Not that I'm trying to avoid it. It's that I'm trying to, like, not make that my brand. I don't want to be, like, the person who talks about trans stuff. I don't even know, like figuring out like what content I'm good at is like, there's a couple things that I'm good at apparently that, there's a couple things that I'm good at, but there's some things that I wish I was better at, and I could always be better at everything really. But when thinking about like like thoughts that pop into your head, and obviously they're not always true. You don't always have to listen to these thoughts, but thoughts such as like, is being a woman to me just being pretty? And like, would I be ever be happy if I wasn't pretty? Like, I sometimes I don't know how to draw the line. Like, where's the line between gender dysphoria and like just personal appearance issues? And I think that's a hard line to draw. And I'm getting closer to being able to draw it. One more surgery to go. Okay. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just about appearances. It's also about emotions. It's also about just chemistry, which is already, I mean, the chemistry is there because it's not just about the chemistry. If it was just about the chemistry, then the hormones would have been fine. If it was just about appearances, then, well, I mean, I guess the bottom surgery is a part of it, is an appearance too. So, a huge part of it, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's like these kind of thoughts have been on my mind lately. Like, do I just consider myself as like only having value if I am considered like what is traditionally known as pretty? Like, if I look feminine enough a certain way, like, is that kind of bothers me sometimes because I get so fixated on it. I don't think it's to the point of like, I mean, it's not to the point of self-harm or anything like that. Like, I'm not bulimic. I'm not like, I don't know. It's a really complex issue. And honestly, I also don't want mental health issues to be the only thing that I talk about because like, it's depressing. Honestly, I want to be silly. I want to make people laugh. I want to entertain people. I want to like, open people's minds, to new ideas. I'm like, there's so much stuff I want to do. I want to just be an entertainer. I don't want to be somebody who brings in depressing topics. And like, I hate that about what basically like things have turned into. And how do I get myself out of that? Like, how do I get myself out of this hole that I dug myself into where it's just like, when I show up to my stream, I don't really have anything prepared. But then not only that, I get depressed about that, and then I don't prepare anything, and then I get depressed about that, and then I don't prepare, and it's just like it keeps going into a cycle, and it's like, I don't know. I think I'm doing fine considering everything I'm going through, but and honestly, like 4 years, I started streaming for stupid reasons. It wasn't really I guess it was fine. It was because I was already studying chess every day. And I just wanted to like, I may as well share my screen. And then eventually I just started using my microphone. And then eventually, when I started transitioning, I got a camera. I mean, I had a laptop camera, but it sucked. And honestly, that was pre-transition. So because I started streaming pre-transition. And a lot of it was like bringing up a lot of the stuff that I buried already. Because I had already come out as trans when I was in my late teens and my early 20s. And it wasn't until I was 31 back in 2019 that I was finally able to start. And the thing is like, this has been my narrative for 4 years, basically. And it's like, I know that I'm going to be able to get out of it because it's already starting to happen. Like, after this facial surgery, things changed. I don't know how to explain it, but things changed inside of me. Like, I'm starting to just feel like, okay, like, let's, like, we got one more surgery to go, but like, now it's like, I'm starting to see myself not just as a trans person who's transitioning. I'm starting to see myself as like Rebecca. Like, that's me. Like, I'm just me. Like, and then it's like, oh shit, like reality hits. And you're like, oh shit, like I still have to live life. Like, that was only a part of it. That wasn't the whole thing. In fact, I'm really glad it wasn't the whole thing. I'm almost out of it, but at the same time, like, God damn, am I ready to be fuck out of this. Jesus. It's been almost 4 years since I started hormones. In another 3 months or so. Yeah, in about 3.5 months, It'll be my 4-year anniversary of starting hormones on September 25th. So, I mean, like, I don't know. It's just like things are starting to feel like, okay, well, now there's a whole bunch of blank space that's starting to open up, and I'm starting to see it, and it's starting to, like, freak me out. Because I'm like, I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't know what it would look like. I didn't know what it felt like until it happened. And now I'm here, and I'm like, oh boy. Here we go. I got to actually face the fact that I can't be happy staying in that place that I was mentally, of being a person who's transitioning, of being a trans person. Like, I want to get out of that. When I walk into a room, I want people to just see Rebecca. I don't want them to see, oh yeah, there's that trans person. She's so brave. She's so brave. Like, that's not what I wanted. And of course I can't control how other people receive me, and there's a lot of bullshit that's going on that may have even ruined my career right from the beginning. Just being trans may have already ruined my career. Although I don't think that's true, because look at Dylan Mulvaney. 10 million followers. Like, that gives me some hope. Like being trans isn't a career killer. So then I don't have that excuse. So now what? Like, and it is driving me crazy. Because I'm like trying to figure out like where to go from here. Like, where, like, how do I, and I'm getting there. It's slow, and a lot of it is happening off stream. A lot of it is happening privately. But it's happening. But anybody who's been here in my stream or in my YouTube or who's known me on Discord at all or anywhere, other streamers who forgot what I was going to say. There's a lot of things that happen internally that I don't think a lot of people realize, like, go on. And then I think I don't even recognize them when they happen to myself. I do pick up on them, and that's where therapy's helped. I do pick up on them. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe my content is just about, maybe my talent. I think there's more than goes in. I don't think I should be so. Why do I feel so negative about just being a pretty face? Like being a model. Maybe I'm not very good at acting. Maybe I can't really pull off being an actress, at least at this time. Maybe I can work on it. Take an acting class. Get some coaching. But maybe my career path, is only going to be about my physical appearance and my performances. And I think that's fine. It doesn't take away anything from who I am. It only adds to it. It adds to my art. What I leave behind when I'm no longer able to create anything. Because one day I'm not going to be here. And that goes true for all of us here on this earth. Everybody. Like we were born, we live, and then we die. And while we're here, some stuff gets left behind, and it's kind of this interesting thing where we kind of live beyond the grave. Like we're not living just for ourselves. We're living for the people who come after us too. So I can't judge something because I don't know exactly how many people my artwork, no matter what it is, can benefit. So, I have to come from that place of non-judgment when I create. I have to come from that place of, I don't know how this will be perceived, but this is what my soul created at this moment over a period of time. And for whatever reasons, this is the shape it took. And I'm presenting it to you. I don't know necessarily what to call it. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. It might have been prepared. It might have been improvised. But in the end of the day, it's still something that you've put out into the world, and it's never going to be taken away. The moment already happened. It can't be undone. Like, it's already done. You've already made the thing happen into the universe. So even if the file gets deleted, even if the tape gets burned, you already created the thing. People have already observed the thing. People have talked about the thing. And then it lasts well beyond you. Where there's people who don't even know that you were a part of it. But they are being impacted by the thing that you created. Obviously, when it becomes to most of my content, I'm the central image. Like, obviously, you guys don't care about my freaking messy room. Like, my brand is me. Like, when I appear on your show, you're getting me. And I have a presenter mode that I have, but I also am authentic. And some people can't handle that. And I have to accept that because there's going to be people, who won't want to collaborate with me. Because I'm too authentic. And it doesn't make them a petty person. It doesn't make me, a loser or whatever. It's just it. Like, some people you're not going to be able to collab with. Especially people who are afraid of having transgender people on their broadcast. Because they're afraid of losing half their, a large portion of their audience. I wouldn't say half. I would probably say maybe 30 to 40% of your audience is probably transphobic. Just on Twitch in general. At least 20%. I would say at least 20% of anybody's Twitch chat at any given moment is transphobic and should be banned. But it never comes out if you don't bring a trans person on your stream, and you'll never get canceled. ... And then what's Rebecca gonna do? Oh, Rebecca, I think you're amazing, and I think that you're so talented and beautiful. But we can't collab because if we collab, it's going to be too controversial because you're transgender and that's political. Okay, that's okay. I'll talk to you another time. ... Yeah, that's about how it goes. I'm on my own. But, if Dylan Mulvaney can get to 1 million followers, maybe I can get a few. So, there's got to be something I can do that's going to draw people in. And I already know one of them, but, There's got to be other stuff too, you know. I can only use that excuse so much, because times are changing, luckily. Transgender people are becoming more acceptable, and it's becoming less acceptable to be accepting of transphobia. So there's a lot of hope for me and other people like me, but for now it's a little rough. There's a lot of stuff going on in my personal life I'm not going to get into, but yeah, I'm kind of excited for a lot of things in my life coming up. This next year is going to be pretty life-changing, no matter what happens. And if anything happens in my career, that's a bonus. I don't know if anything's going to happen with my career this year. It's been 4 years. It might be another 4 years. I don't know. I might have to just, slowly climb my way up, go take an acting class at the community college. Maybe audition a few times, maybe just keep putting myself out there. Maybe in a couple years I can actually get myself over and get myself into the system, or maybe it'll happen rapidly. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm kind of scared, but it's the excited kind of scared. Just like with my bottom surgery, like I am completely changing a part of my body permanently. And I've been contemplating this and thinking about this for like almost 20 years. Maybe not almost 20, like probably like 17 years that I've known that I need to have this thing, an outie turned into an innie. Finally happening. So no matter what happens, I'd say my life has been a success. And I'm going to continue to push for more. But regardless, like I can't beat myself up. I can't feel like I'm a loser or a failure. I can't feel like because I took the initiative to take care of my needs, my deep inherent medical needs, that I had the self-worth to do that, it means I had to sacrifice the energy that I would be able to put into a career. But you guys saw that I did not give up. So I did not sit still during these past 4 years. I didn't use transitioning as an excuse for not making content. I tried. Still. And I still am. And I might not even have anything that's worthy of being uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, never too late, Zoran. Yeah, never too late. And I've already started, so it's like I got a head start. And I got a good head, I got a good heart, I got a good soul. I've taken care of my mental health and my medical needs above all else. I've taken care of my personal life above all else. My personal relationships. I'm not using this as a parasocial crutch. This is something that I use to try to bring myself back to self-improvement and making myself a better life, and getting involved in something that I really want to be a part of. When I was watching, it's really easy to get envious and bitter. It's a trap that people fall into, but not everybody can be a winner, at least not all the time. And not everybody can enter a contest or for an event such as OTK Elevated. Like not only was I too late, I don't think I would have I don't think I would have made the cut, honestly. I don't know, maybe. But only a certain amount of people, could have been accepted to that. There's only a certain amount of people who could have participated in that. So yeah, like I didn't get to participate in that, but that's not the only thing in this world that is like that. Like I've been in college, I've been in music production, I've been in other productions as well. Like I want to do theater productions. Like I want to, I was a band kid and it's like I want to do theater. Like I want to do acting. I want to do the most raw, relatable form of performance art, because everybody has lived their life, and with music and stuff, it transcends like our daily life. It goes into like an abstract kind of place, but with like plays and film and all that kind of stuff, you get a chance to really like deliver something that people can relate to on a day-to-day, like personal basis. Like they can put a word to it. They can look at it and say like, I've been through that. Like I've had a situation like that, or I felt like that, or I've had a situation where like I was the one who was in the wrong and like wouldn't admit it, and like you're so convinced you're right, and like it can happen to anyone. It's not like, obviously you're going to be on different ends of the, you take on different roles throughout your life. Like, like I've been the victim and I've been the person who's been the problem. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I started my, I started my career, like I'm still starting it. And there's going to be a huge change, and it's going to put like 3 or 4 or 5 months of not being able to make content. There's a lot that goes into it. There's the surgery, of course. Like the surgery, obviously, I'm not going to be able to use it for at least 3 months. But also like it's not just that. Like it's like there's psychological and mental health. Like I need to take care of my mental health, and I'm not going to go on camera unless I feel comfortable. Which is why, I don't know, this past month I haven't really been going on camera. I haven't really been making any content. Even my main content I have been absent from. I'm kind of taking a bit of time to just kind of like sit back and kind of like rest up. Because everything's going to completely change at the end of the year. Completely. But in the most beautiful way. And in a way that's just going to feel right. And I don't know how it's going to feel, but that's why I'm doing it, is because I need to know. I think it would be a waste of a life if I never did what I'm doing. It would have been a completely wasted life, because I'm already so much happier than I've ever been. But now I want to actually go in and interact with people, and go out, and even just taking an acting class. I like working with people. I like socializing in that way, where you're creating something. Like I watching OTK Elevated, like especially the finale. Like I want to be on stage. Not to be the center of attention, but because I like creating something that's bigger than me. It's not just about me. Like it's about everybody who's a part of it. All the people on stage, all the people off stage, all the people with the lighting, all the people with the audio, all the people with the, it's like these people are the people who make this happen. And I love that. That's my favorite part of performance art. Especially once you finish a good show and you go to the frickin' green room and you're putting all your stuff away. And you're just like, sometimes you just like kind of have like like smile and nod with somebody because you had like like something happened during the performance that was like extra, and you're like way to go. But like you don't talk about it. And then maybe you just like, I don't know, you might just go out and just like kind of go out on a walk by yourself just to like kind of unwind, because it can kind of pump you up. Sometimes you like go out and you hang out with your friends, with some of the people who you might be more friendly with, and you like, go out and like, get a beer or two or something like that. Like there's always stuff like that. That's my favorite part. Like, obviously, it is stressful performing, but once you're on stage, it's like nothing else. Like it's not about you. It's just about like what you're creating. And then when it's over, you're back to being you. And it's kind of like, how did I get here? But then you kind of like meet with the other performers and you're like, hey, that was weird, right? Let's go get a beer and talk about it. and then you do it again the next night. And it's, I don't know, there's an energy about it that I think it's like a lifestyle. It's not even about money. Like I want to be able to just show up to a place, fulfill some kind of role, whatever that role might be, whether it's on or off stage, be a part of it, learn something, feel the energy, witness it. Like even just witnessing the energy improves you. Like being around people who are performing improves you. I don't know how to explain it, but you just pick up on these things. Your human brain, if I'm gonna try to explain it, I guess in a nerdy way, I think it's just like the human brain is evolved to be able to pick up patterns. And if your goal is to become a better performer, then you put yourself around better performers. Because you start to pick up on the little things that they might not even be aware of. And you can't pick these things up on camera all the time. Being in front of them, like while it's happening, there's no substitute for that. Absolutely no substitute. It is so exhilarating. Even if you're just doing it for like, it doesn't matter about how many people are watching. Like if you're doing it for like a school play, for like college or whatever, like that's a big deal. College productions are not like lightweight. Like that is how you're like, that is what I'm going to have to do. Like I'm going to go take some classes, like improv, possibly. Like I'm going to try to take a class over the summer if I can. I'm going to really try to take a class. And then I'm going to have to take a break basically until next summer or next fall even. And then I could continue with classes and stuff. Obviously I'm going to have my surgery at the end of the year, and it's probably going to be like basically just put a big pause on my life for 6 months again. But this time the pause is the last one, at least as far as like transgender medicine goes. No more surgeries. Just continuing to try to be happy with myself and live my life and pursue the things that make me happy. Just this one more surgery that I'm just like, I don't know if you can, I think people can tell. Like, I think people can tell that something has been changed since this facial surgery, but I think people can tell that there's still something weighing me down. I think people, even if they don't know, I think they can pick up on it, like on camera. Like, I think people can notice that there's something that still needs to be changed. And I'm incomplete. It's not, I'm not ready. Like, it's fine. I'm 35 years old, but you know what? Someone in my industry started her career at 68. And she has her own website now. Very successful adult career. She's 80 years old, still working. So I think I'm going to be okay. I have a very hypersexuality, so that's why I pursued that career. That's why I'm pursuing it. I have a lot of, don't worry, I'm going to therapy. I have a lot of unresolved issues that's a part of, but I'm dealing with it in my own way and with therapy. And it's very therapeutic doing the work that I do. But I can't always do it, and you can tell because of the lack of this final surgery that needs to happen. I can't do this as an incomplete person. I think when I started streaming, that was the final straw. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this at all if I'm not going to be true to myself. Like, I noticed very early on, the people who are fake, they don't last. Like, the people who, like, they put on, like, this air of, like, you know, this image, and then you find out really quick these people are, like, very terrible people. You know, they you know, you get some leaked DMs, and you find out what they've been doing behind the scenes. At least I'm an authentic person, and what you see is what you get, and what I say is what I mean. Which is kind of a problem because I want to learn how to be funny. And in order to be funny, I have to learn how to, like, kind of suspend the truth a little bit. It's really hard as an autistic person. But you know what I do? Instead of running away, I dive right in. It's called exposure therapy, I believe. I put myself into the situation. I drop myself into the grease. I drop myself into the grease and then I try to survive. And that's how I get stronger. And it can be very stressful and it's very painful sometimes. But it works. It works. It's the only thing in my life that I found out works is just pushing myself to do it regardless of how other people feel, how I feel. You know, especially how I feel. Like if other people are like, hey, we know you can do this. And I'm like, but I can't do it. And they're like, but we know you can. And I'm like, yeah, I've done it before, but I don't know if I can continue to do it. And they're like, we know you can. And I'm like, okay. The conversation doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. I feel more like a victim. I get, you know, I further push people away from conversation, even though I want to have a conversation. People don't want to have a conversation with somebody who is worked up. And as an autistic person, it's hard not to get worked up. Especially when you talk about certain things that really grate against me. Like if somebody is going to be like very like antagonistic towards transgender people, I'm going to have an issue with that. And yeah, maybe that's an example where it's a little bit understandable that I feel that way. But there's other situations where it's unfair of me to do that. I think it's important to recognize that I'm working on all the hard parts first. Because the easy parts are easy for a reason. You know, like if they're like, why should I focus on the parts that are easily fixed? For example, makeup. I do not do makeup. I'm going to work on it, don't worry. That will be content. Like YouTube shorts and TikTok. But I'm not very good at it yet. And also, I could hire a professional to do it. At this stage in my career, that would be a complete waste of money. It would be the stupidest thing I would ever do. To invest in like a professional makeup artist. That's like min-maxing way too early. But, here's the thing. Is people find me attractive without makeup. People find me interesting without always looking completely prepared or completely together or completely like with my hair messed up or in my pajamas. You know, I'm not always going to be perfect. I'm not. Like, I'm not always going to be perfect. I'm not always going to be putting on my A game. Okay, like it's the important part is showing up. But then there's one thing that not only do you have to show up, you have to also show up and be good enough. And I seem to not ever be good enough for other people. at least for anything that's going to advance my career. In whatever way that might mean. I don't know exactly because I'm not a mind reader, but I know there's something that's turning people away from me. And I don't know what it is. It's like there's just something missing. Like I don't know what it is. But I do know that people, when they meet me, they tell me personally that they really enjoyed being around me, that they enjoyed talking to me, that I have interesting things to say, that I helped them. These are the kind of things that people tell me in person and online. And it can't just be a coincidence that, it's like this keeps happening, not just one person. Like multiple people say this. You think, if enough people say it, maybe it's true. Maybe I am a good person. Maybe I am lovable. Maybe I am lovable. No, but seriously, I think that regardless of whatever happens, like all you can really do is just show up. And that at least I got that one down. I've been showing up, since elementary school. I started showing up. I want to play a music instrument. Okay, you have to go try out for the band. Okay, I'm going to go try out. Oh, you're going to be in a beginning band. Okay, cool, I get to learn. Oh, look, you learned really quickly. You're going to be in the advanced band. Oh, cool, I get to be in the advanced band. I must be really smart. Oh, we're going to put you in the beginning band again because you have behavioral issues. Oh, okay, I guess there's something wrong with me. Like if I see an opportunity, I try to bite my best to take it. And the issue isn't that I don't show up. The issue isn't that I'm not willing to put myself out there or to take the opportunity. The issue is other people. Like, I mean, I don't know how to put it. I know it sounds really stupid, but the issue really is other people. In my case. Like, there's just certain things not in my control. The people's opinion of me is not in my control. And I can't please everyone. And unfortunately, I guess I just am a certain type of personality that it's really hard for most people to like. But I don't need everybody to like me. I just need myself to like me. I need my friends to like me. I need the people I work with to like me. And I need my fans to like me, but they're fickle. They don't know me. Like they just see whatever I do, and if I entertain them, that's great. If I don't, well, they move on, and that's fine. That's the nature of our relationship. But sometimes there's always going to be that self-doubt. It's like where I started comparing myself to others. Where I started watching, all these very talented performers on OTK Elevated. And feeling like, what possible chance does someone like me have? I have all this time in the world, and I could barely even show up to do a stream, to make content. I can't even make YouTube videos. I can't even write a script. I can't even seem to edit a video properly. But that's okay, because I'm learning, and it's going to take time. And I'm focusing on myself first, career second. So it's gonna last longer, and it's gonna be better. It's gonna be healthier. But it's just gonna be a bit of a slow start. And I think that's okay too, because I think it's gonna be better that way. And then you have this slow trickle, and suddenly it starts to just like get more and more powerful, because then the people who are sticking around for a reason, and they're probably not going to leave very easily. And so, I get more and more people in my life. When I start getting people like that in my real life, I'm starting to have more confidence in myself. Starting to realize that, hey, like maybe I'm not a bad person. Maybe I'm not an ugly person. Maybe I'm a beautiful human being. Maybe I deserve to have a career. Maybe I deserve to have friends. Maybe I deserve to be, to have all my best traits acknowledged and to have my worst traits, like seen as, like with a grain of salt or whatever. I don't even know how to word it. Like I'm alive. I'm alive. And as long as I'm alive, there's hope, I don't know how, to, go to the next step, how to get to where I need to be. I don't know how to up my game. I don't know how to get better at, obviously taking that acting class as a start. I don't know exactly how to get to where I want to be. Especially with my main career. The adult industry, I have no idea how to get into. Except for just doing stuff on my own. And I'm scared because it's like I just want so much out of life and I just want it to happen. I just want these things to happen for me. Like I want to be able to go and audition. I want to have that kind of strength and that kind of confidence in myself to be able to get myself to where I need to be. And I know that I can do it. I also feel stupid sometimes because I just feel like if I, how stupid do I have to be to not be able to figure out how to go get work, doing that kind of work? Like it's the oldest. It's the world's oldest occupation. How is it so hard for me to find work? I don't know how to do this. But that's okay. It's okay. I'm young. And luckily, I have a few things about me that are an advantage. I'm traditionally attractive. Or conventionally attractive, whatever you want to call it. I have an ability to. I have superhuman strength of resolve. I have the ability to just like take in information and synthesize information, learn things like really quickly, except for certain things. I don't know what, like, I mean, this is autism for you. Like certain switches are on, certain switches are off. Like certain things I can't learn how to navigate this social world that we live in. Like how do I reach out to people? How do I work with people? How do I collaborate with people? I don't know how, and I'm scared. I do the best I can. I go into people's Twitch chats or I go into their Discords. I say hi, and I don't really know where to go from there. I just kind of say like, hey, like, like we should collab sometime. Yeah, and that, I think it's okay. I think there's time. And I think people do change. Like, I think people's attitude towards people like me change. Whether it's because of my autistic issues or whether it's because I'm trans or whether it's because I'm a woman. Or it's just because they don't like me for whatever reason. Because there's so many different stupid shit going on. It's not worth like, it's not worth analyzing. Like it's so easy to drive yourself crazy. Like, like, oh, I'm not succeeding because of this or this or this. And it's like, dude, like you literally, it's literally just a dice roll most of the time. Like literally, like you had the exact same chances as someone else to get into something or whatever. And like they just happened to get in before you. Like like it doesn't mean like I'm a worse person. There's survivorship bias is like a thing. No, I'm never giving up. Like that's my superhuman ability. Like I'm tenacious as fuck. I'm never leaving. Like once I get my foot in the door, you're not getting me out. Like like and I'm gonna take over. You guys have no idea. This is gonna be the age of Rebecca. It's gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna get sick of it. It's gonna be so bad. I'm gonna be like wishing that I wasn't so successful. I'd be like, hey, like I wish I could just be a normal person so that I could actually like have fun. I don't know. I'm being stupid. Everything is what it is. It's not like I think we build these things up in our head over what things should be, and then when they happen and they don't meet those expectations, we get upset. And this happens to me. But I also think that it's not about lowering our expectations, because I think some things, it's kind of toxic to put it that way. Like when people say, "Oh, if you can't get a date, you should lower your expectations or whatever, or lower your standards." And that's kind of stupid, because like that's kind of a big fuck you to the person that you end up going out on a date with. Like what you say that you're like chopped liver, like you're the backup. Like really, like you're not going to put the kind of like respect into the individual that you would just because you seem to have this criteria for people, and like this person doesn't meet your standards, but this person is like at least willing to go on a date with you. And like I don't like seeing collabs that way either, because it's kind of like a date in that way. Like I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to do a collab with this person. I'd rather do a collab with this other person." It's like, dude, like unless the person is like very transphobic or racist or something, like, because that'll just get me banned. But even if I didn't, like, I wouldn't want to work with those people. Who do I look like? Destiny? Jeez. Even though I do know it is a woman's name. Heyo! Shots were fired. I think he can handle it. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I play this game in my head, or I pretend I'm already part of it. Call it parasocial. I don't really see it that way. I'm just acting like I deserve this. Like I deserve a life of success. And so I'm not delusional, but I kind of exist as if I'm already a part of it. Because my goal is to be a part of the fabric. And if my goal is to be that, then I should visualize it. And I don't know, like I sometimes I just sit down and I just close my eyes and I just like I imagine myself like what I would have done during each of those episodes of OTK Elevated. Like what would the episode have been like if Rebecca was there? Like what if I was there, like what would have happened? Would there have been drama? Would I have trended on Twitter? Because of some shit that happens, because of some transphobic bullshit behind the scenes, someone gets fired, HR gets involved. That's why people don't want to hire me. Why would you want to hire see, do you understand like where the discrimination comes from? Like it's not from a place of hate. It's from a place of complacency. It's because people don't want to be seen as somebody who includes trans people because they don't want to divide their audience. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. It's definitely not that I'm untalented. It's definitely not that I don't put enough work into my content. It's definitely their fault for being transphobic. That's it. That's what it is. It's not my fault. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's Ludwig's fault. Hangs a trans flag, but hasn't called me on Discord. Like, dude, all you have to do is pick up your phone and call Rebecca on Discord. That would change everything. Suddenly, I'm not so annoying to chat, am I? Suddenly, it looks a little different, doesn't it? If a famous person elevates you, doesn't it? All it would take was just someone's perception of me to change, and everything would be different. Because what happens is people see me and they have this judgment and they have this prejudice in their head, and they already have a negative opinion of me before they've even met me. I just think it's kind of messed up. I don't want to be bitter about it, but I think it's kind of messed up how many companies and how many content creators, especially during Pride Month and all that, they'll fly trans colors. They'll say they support LGBT. And then people who have been begging and screaming and just trying to survive out here in this crazy fucking business. Clearly visible on Discord, clearly a part of the community, but let's not involve this person with anything, despite this person's continual effort to be involved, just wanting some crumbs of the pie. I don't want to be bitter, but it's kind of like that sometimes. You just want some crumbs, and there's these people eating the whole pie, and I don't like feeling bitter like that. It's so easy to feel that way, but come on. I have a negative. I don't know. I don't exactly know how I'm received over on Discord, on the OTK Discords. I have some mods who really support me and care about me, and some Discord members. Some people in the community really love me and support me, and they're really fighting for me to get through what I'm going through. But then there's a ton of people who every time I talk, they're like, shut the fuck up, you're stupid or whatever. And obviously that's always going to be the case online, but how quickly that would change if I was a guest on OTK on any of the streamers. If I was literally a guest on any OTK member stream, that would literally change everything. And obviously, yeah, you can't count on stuff like that to happen. Stuff like OTK Elevated, that's pure luck. Obviously not getting to the final, especially Mayor Wirtz. Jesus fucking Christ, that guy killed it. And ironically, I didn't think he was going to do too well. When I saw him at the beginning, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, he's another one of these gimmicky small streamers. He's the stepdad. I'm like, but it grows on you. It really grows on you. It's so simple and it seems stupid, but then you realize he delivers it really well. It's not just a character stepdad. If it were just that, it wouldn't be very interesting. I think it's because Mayor Wirtz really puts in the effort, into the character, and I think that's what makes it good. But I mean, obviously it's not luck getting there, but obviously getting on the show is pure luck. I didn't even, by the time I learned about the application, it was already closed. Really? My one chance to apply to something that's actually relevant to getting myself out of poverty, potentially. And I miss the deadline for the for the application, you know? Like, I made a video as quick as possible because, Nick and Milena were on and they were streaming the videos. And I thought that, like, oh, cool, I still have time to submit. And I submitted a video really quick. It's like this really stupid fucking, like, oh, it's like lazy ass video. Just me, like, on the camera saying, like, hey, like, my name's Rebecca, like, I'm applying for, you may know me from Discord or whatever, but, like, I think that in order to improve as a content creator, I need to actually get involved and collaborate, and, that's what I want. I don't want to just be a queen sitting on her throne. I want to be, like, in the thick of things. I want to be as involved as the people who aren't on screen. Like, I love being off screen too. Like, I love being a part of the crew. I love being a part of, like, everything. I love learning about everything. I love being a part of it. And I don't know, I'll get maybe it's probably not going to be with OTK. I'm not very brand friendly, I guess. Because not only, I don't know. People are afraid to include trans people. Like, it's really fucked up. I mean, you saw what happened with Bud Light. Like, obviously, it's really stupid with this boycott or whatever. But, like, do you see, like, Dylan Mulvaney, like, 10 million followers, gets one sponsorship, and everybody loses their fucking minds. And then people only care about, like, numbers. They don't actually care about the people involved. And I think this is what's wrong. And I know there's people... Bud Light lost millions. Yeah, it's only temporary, though. If you look at the grand scheme of things, I think there's a chart that really shows it well. If you look at their past, like, 30 or 50 years of profits, like, this is just a small dip. Like, it's not even, like, it's just like a little teeny burp. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, where the problem is that I literally can't have the opportunities that other people have because I'll immediately divide their audience just for existing. Do you see how fucked up that is? And why so many trans content creators resort to going into Destiny's orbit? Do you understand? Like, why we have this negative reputation of being overly opinionated, over politically, overly social justice warrior is because we don't get the fucking chance that everybody else fucking gets. I have to create it from scratch. It's not going to come from OTK. It's not going to come from any, like, big giant company. It has to come from me. And, like, obviously that's a strength, but it's also scary as fuck. Because it means that if I fail, everything fails. And it means I have to have the strength to pick myself up. And I'm not sure if I have it. But I know that I mean, what else? What other choice do I have? You get one life. You get one set of skills. You do what you can while you're here. And you try to use those skills and you follow your passions, you follow your skills, you follow the things that you gravitate towards. But then shit like this happens that I have absolutely no control over. Where because people who are refusing to listen, people who are refusing to get with the fucking times, people who are refusing to see me as a living, breathing human being, see me as a political problem. They see me as somebody who can't be on a sponsored stream because I'm going to get people angry on Twitter. Because they care more about their profits than they do about me. About all the other trans people out there just trying to make a fucking living. Just like everyone else. But it's changing. Like that's slowly going away. And we're noticing that even with Bud Light. Like, analysts are already saying, like, people are going to look back at this and say, like, what the fuck were you thinking? that you're so stupid that you think having a transgender person, a human being, like doing a sponsorship with that person is somehow going to hurt your career, is somehow going to hurt your brand, and you're going to side with the minority of people who just want to hate trans people, instead of saying, no, we're going to ban those people. Rebecca is allowed to be here. She deserves to be here. We don't care if we're going to lose 20 or 30% of our audience. Because we know that she is more important than them. And that she is on the right side of history and they are not. And I don't care what your fucking analysts say over, oh, we don't want to get politics into it. We just want to look at numbers. We want to look at it just from a marketing standpoint. I'm sorry, Devin Nash, but life doesn't work that way. You can't just look at things that way, because that's how you turn into evil. Because if you look at things strictly through a marketing standpoint, transgender people should never be allowed. Because that's the worst thing you could possibly do to your career, is support a transgender person. Do you understand where the problem is? We can't talk about trans issues, because if we talk about trans issues, there's going to be a bunch of people coming in. We're going to have to ban them, and then it's going to kill the vibes of the stream. And then suddenly we're going to be trending on Twitter, and then we're going to get involved in politics, and we don't want to get involved in politics, so we're just not going to include any trans people. And then the fucking cycle continues. Make the fucking step. Make the fucking risk. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm just like feeling a little bit of a rant about that. Nothing I can do about it, obviously. Except just try to do my best. Just try to live my life. Do what I can. Work on the things that I'm working on. Rest, which is what I'm doing now. Rest when I need to. Work on my craft. But also not work on my craft is like resting. Sometimes I just need to not work on my craft. Whether it's music or writing or acting. But, I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to improve the best I can, because the whole world is against me. Just for being who I am. And, at least I have to fight for me, I know the camera went out. It's just battery. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm just getting a little worked up. I'm just. I'm waiting for my chance. When's it Rebecca's turn? When's it my turn? To be involved with the world, to not be, thrown on the ground and stomped around, spit on. When's it my turn to be happy? But yeah, yeah, thanks, Soren. I'm just a little bit, I'm having a hard time. I'm just having a bit of a hard time. It's so easy to feel bitter and to blame other people, and but at the same time, like, they are something to be acknowledged. They're very real challenges. I have several things working against me at once. Like, I'm autistic, I'm trans, I'm a woman. I've had an outburst, unfortunately captured on stream, that has been distributed to a bunch of hateful people. I'm not popular on Discord. Everything's stacked up against me. But I don't know, I can't give up on myself, I can't. I get one life, and I don't want to fuck it up. And I want to be happy. And I can't be happy if I don't live my most authentic life, if I don't pursue the things that are most important to me, that have been driving me since childhood, like performing and entertaining and just making people smile and laugh, or maybe even just forget their troubles for a while. Like, I know it kind of takes like myself out of the equation, because when you perform, you're taking yourself out of it and you're becoming the performance. So then it's like you're a part of it, but you're not a part of it. But of course, there's always time, to share myself. And yeah, my stream may not be very entertaining. I might get upset on stream a lot, but this is where I go to put me. This is me. This is Rebecca Lauren. This is her. This is my garage. This is my house. This is my room. Whatever you want to call it. Like this is where I brainstorm. This is where I just get my thoughts out. This is where I work on stuff. This is where I potentially entertain people. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna go lie down. Thank you for joining, Zoran, and I'm not gonna give up hope. One day people are gonna recognize my talent, and they're gonna want to involve me in things, and I'm gonna be happy. Not because I get screen time, but because I get to be a part of something and not just told to go away. Anyway, on a more positive note, I'm generally feeling really good. And I'm going to just kind of try to relax today and enjoy the rest of the day. See you next time. Bye-bye.